Alright guys, I had a friend of mine emailing me repeatedly with questions about a Farmall CUB he was working on. Alright, and I was emailing him answers and he kept telling me I was wrong about what I was telling him. Long story short, after about 15 emails, turns out he was actually working on a Farmall A, not a Farmall CUB. He thought it was an A because it had no lettering, no nothing on it. So it's common at a quick glance, someone doesn't know Farmalls or at a distance or whatever, to mistake the CUB for the A. It has the same Culti-Vission steering wheel, which catches your eye. You see that, and you know, a lot of people just assume it's an A. I got mine parked next to my Super A here, which is basically exactly the same as an A. The only difference between a Super A and the A is the hydraulics. That's basically what makes it super. So I'm just going to show you half a dozen real simple ways of telling them apart. Very simple. Alright, looking at the two of them side by side, you know, you're probably saying, how the hell could you possibly mistake one of those for the other? But believe me, when you see just the CUB by itself, especially it's sitting in a field or whatever, and you're driving past it, I myself have mistaken a CUB for a Farmall A. Okay, but once you get a little closer to it and you see the size of it, you know, if you know Farmalls, obviously you know, but it's very simple things that tell you right away. Number one is the hood. That entire hood there, from the headlights all the way back to the end of that gas tank, one piece, unbolts and comes off. Okay, one piece. Okay, Farmall CUB will have the holes on the side here, side of the hood. That's the oil, the generator. Okay, now look at the hood on the Farmall A. Okay, you'll see a center section with the lettering on it. That is the hood. That's all. The front part is the front grille, and the back part is the gas tank. Okay, that middle section, that's it. That's the hood. Okay, all right. Now while we're looking at that Farmall A, look at that starter motor. Okay, the black starter motor you see. And you see the starter motor is after the bell housing. Okay, it's after the bell housing. The back of the starter is toward the seat. Okay, now look at the Farmall CUB. Here's the starter motor. It's in front of the bell housing. Okay, and the back of the starter motor is toward the radiator. Okay, that's because the Farmall CUB is kind of unique in that way. The starter is backwards, it turns counterclockwise. Okay, so just at a quick glance, starter motor in front of the bell housing, one piece hood. That's it. You know it's a CUB. There's no question about it whatsoever. Okay, even if you know nothing about Farmalls. Okay, some other things to look for. Okay, at a quick glance to tell, battery under the seat, Farmall CUB. Okay, there's no A or Super A with a battery under the seat. Okay, battery's in a battery box right before the steering column there. Okay, not all of them will be in the battery box, but okay. Also, on the Farmall CUB, okay, the voltage regulator right here, voltage regulator. Generator's up inside here. Okay, both on the right side of the engine. Okay, right side of the engine, sitting in the driver's seat. Now let's go over to the Farmall A. Okay, left side of the engine, sitting in the driver's seat. There's your generator, voltage regulator. Okay, all right. Air filter, a big air filter there. Okay, with the oil pan underneath. Okay, air filter all the way up through the hood. Okay, on the Farmall CUB, you don't even see the air filter. Okay, it's underneath. All right, it's less than half the size. Okay, the carburetor. The throat of the carburetor goes into the air filter. The throat of the carburetor faces the seat. On the Farmall CUB, the throat of that carburetor faces the radiator. Okay, you see the black holes coming out of it? Okay, the throat of the carburetor faces the radiator on the CUB. Okay, so you got the generator to look for, the carburetor, the air filter. Okay, the hood, the most obvious. Okay, the battery and the starter. Okay, and I'm sure there are at least a dozen other things to look for. But at a quick look, you can drive by a Farmall CUB, knowing this information, sitting on a lawn for sale. You can drive by a CUB and unmistakably know it's a CUB, not a Farmall A. Okay? So the front hood also, of course, is different. Alright, although, again, when you look at it quickly and you're not overly familiar with the Farmall A, it is possible to mistake it. Okay, I've done it. Alright, before I knew all of these things. Okay, the lights sit high on the CUB. On the Farmall A, I don't have my lights on. On the Farmall A, there would be a headlight right there where that horn is. Okay, and one opposite side equal to it. Okay, so down toward the bottom would be the headlights. Okay. But the number one thing which catches your eye and throws you off with the CUB thinking it's an A is that Culti-Vission. You see the way the steering column is there? The seat is offset, same as the A. Steering column offset, seat there. So when you're driving by or looking at a CUB real fast, you see that and you say, oh, that's an A. Okay, it's very easy to mistake them. Okay, so these are things to look for. And you won't have that problem I had with my friend, giving him information and not knowing whether it's a CUB or an A, even though it has no labels on it, no stickers, no nothing. You look at those things I told you, the hood, the starter, the generator, the carburetor, and you'll know undoubtedly, if you know nothing whatsoever about Farmalls, what kind of tractor you're looking at. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Feel free to donate some other things. I'm sure there's at least a dozen more. Book them, Daniel.